Hey guys, DJ from PTA. Want to go over a few trades of the day. No trades for me. Stayed off the desk today, which I was pretty much glad I did. It was a pretty choppy day, August 9th. So again, it's one of those things I still thinking, even with the monstrous day, I'm still looking at, what we're doing overall. Um, I'm just not feeling the long term trend of it going up. I still think we're going to go down, or we need to go down a little lower before we return to that price action of a bullish arena. But we got 4 months left. Things may be in the suit for it to turn around. I would like to see it back up in this area first, which would be the 433s, going higher to 462, and then top out a bit higher. So that's my thoughts on the SPY. All right, so let's go down the list. FAZE. FAZE was popped up on the scanner, and let's see something here. FAZE. Right here was August 9th, that trade. Ultimately, 12.4 million in volume. This trade was a little different than other trades. So let me explain why. You had some massive amount of volume, but no support and resistance. So what I mean by that is you really didn't have anything to go back off of from the past. So everything had to really set up throughout the day. Longer the time frame, the better. Now, what happened in the instance was this stock ultimately created an A, jot down, created a B. Now this B is higher than here, so this became the swing high there, and then this became the new swing low. Now when it swung up, it missed it. Now I had to create this as a different A, not because of this move here, because this technically would have been still within play. But the problem with it was the way it's set up. It was too tight from here to here. Just too much. It was too tight in the price action. Like it just went like this, right? It was really tight, sort of like that. You wanted to be a little bit wider, as far as that price action goes. But you have to play it based off what you see on the chart. So this became a low, which is higher than this low. And if you want to look at it, you can see that it was kind of climbing in this direction, moving higher. So it's still an uptrend. Now, that's how it looks on the 5-minute. Let's back out to the 30, and it's a little bit more clear. So you got your low, 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 low. It's still making higher lows, curling into it. Now, this is where it got kind of interesting here when it popped up. What I looked at it as, going back to my drawing, is that this area and this area was the same. Well, actually, they were 1 cent apart. I think this was 1634, and this was 33. 1633. So as a result, it fell back down, created a higher low, and then it perked back up, pulled back down, got everybody involved, and slammed. So for me, looking at the higher time frames, I would have seen this as A, would have been B, pull back, and then probably would have joined someone here and ride this wave. The smarter trade would have been to allow it to form and then watch for this perk here. So the real trade was right in this space. Once it started to curl, you add in. So right here is where it got interesting, right there. $16.41. So you're talking about $16.41, probably about a $16.20 risk right here. where it opened, and then you had a nice rip, and I mean it ripped to 21. So it was a nice move on Faze, but you would have had to wait for the support and resistance to show itself and really see it. For some people, they can see it, some couldn't. I think that would have been a key area for you to look at, was that 1641 area as a side of interest in getting into that stock. Solid play, but definitely had to be patient in that trade to allow it to form. The next stock we're going to go over is ASTS. ASTS was a nice move, and the reason being, it just had some, it had like volume, but it still had the pattern. And a lot of times you may not get the necessary volume, but it's the pattern that plays the part, because that's what you're looking. That's what you're looking for when it comes to a trade. So one thing I liked about this stock is how it's set up. So you definitely had this downturn, found some support here, bounced off the support at 740, went higher. So, you know, the way I like to see my patterns are just like how you see here. I like the stock to kind of find some support, bounce from it, pull back, find some more support to take off for a higher move. So one of the things that, you know, when it comes to trading, you're looking for these patterns, looking for this pattern recognition to really get it where it needs to go. This is where you got your first move on the downturn, on the pullback, was right there. You had your low at 778, bounce, pulled down 777. It didn't find support till 777. Now what I want you to do is take a look at this at 777. Okay, I want to extend to the left so you guys can see this, and I want to go over to the left and show you. See how right here it broke down? See how right here it gathered and then moved higher? See how it ran into this and then pulled back? If you look at this stock and you look at it from that 777, you can see how it kept playing around that area. So when it got back over that area and then respected it, it took off. And that's what you're looking for. Support, resistance. You're looking for those key areas. It broke out of the previous previous week high and just kept going. You could have found another play right here when it found support at 825 for the next move up. And this is probably where most people got involved, was right here. Is looking at the steady price action. That's where most people end up joining the trade after they had already created this move here. So overall, just a great move, great play. Definitely something to study from. And last but not least, trade I'm gonna go over is AERC. Now this was the winner. This was the one. If you following us on the Discord, it was shouted out in the Discord with prices. And this is where it got really interesting. So let me go back to the daily so you can kind of see the chart. Right here, quick bounce, created a low, quick bounce, massive volume at 49 million. This stock is not used to doing that. So ultimately, it was just a solid trade. Now, let's go back to the 5. Now, you see that it's been falling. So it's due for a bounce. So once it found this low at 375, it was gone at that point. Now, one of the things I liked about the trade is that it took a while to manifest. This was a later in the day trade. So ultimately, when I got this move here, when you seen this move here, is what confirmed the play. So as soon as it got over this area, I would say 430s, risking the 4. Yeah, you could have risked 430s at 4, never return. So just from 430 went up $3.38. So you're talking about 30 cents risk with $3.30 gain. Not a bad move. But this again, this was a late day play. I mean, it didn't realistically move to about 140. And some traders, that's their time frame that they play. So anytime after that 1 o'clock time period is where some of these stocks just tend to move and give you some big push. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you have any